I'm your host, Bryce Cameron. Now, last week we had Marrying Million star Colton Pierce. Tonight we have our first Den star. We have LCA Star Saleana is with us. How are you? I'm so excited for this. I'm so pumped.
I'm all right. I mean, it's pretty boring without LCA. So.
To not like be filming.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How is that? It's crazy because we filmed that April to June. So we've been off filming for like 4 or 5 months now. Like, what is it like now watching it back?
You kind of want to take back a lot of the things, but like not that I've said, but like being as I was drinking a lot. I was going through a hard time. So
right.
I drank a lot. I wish I wasn't drinking as much. It probably makes more sense.
We'll get to that. Is there? Okay, I'm gonna ask you straight up then. Is there anything? Do you feel? Because a lot of people talk about being unfairly portrayed on the show. Do you feel like you're being unfairly portrayed on the show, or?
No, because drunk me is a part of me, so.
Right. Well, people in the past, for example, Melissa, Mel, she recently on social media said that she was being portrayed as something she was not on the show. So I was just curious, what do you think of that, by the way? Like, what do you think of Mel, her social media campaign against the show and saying that she's being unfairly portrayed?
I think Mel doesn't know who she is at all. So she just, if it doesn't sound right to her, she's going to like switch it. But she is who she is, but she doesn't realize who she is, if that makes sense. Like, she's like so mentally unstable that like if it doesn't sound right and doesn't look good, that's not her. That's somebody else. Like they're just making it up. But like in all reality, every time she's ever went crazy, it's the same shit. The same shit. Tweaking out on everybody for no, like, I didn't even do anything. She freaked on me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. So let's back up. So Tony's been on the show now since the very first inception of the show, like back when it was just this even smaller thing, and it was like me, him, Danielle, Leslie, whatever. So that was back in February of 2018, so almost 2 years ago. Now, what made you want to get on the show after seeing him and his evolution on the show?
I don't know. I feel like I heard a lot of it because I'm always around at night when he would do it. So I would hear it and I'd have my own little words to say. And I'm like, boy, if I was on that show, I'd tell that bitch.
And you do. You did. So I want to get your take on some of his drama from last season. What did you think of his feud with Anthony, which was like a #1 feud of the season? Like, what do you think? What do you make of that? Like,
I don't think there's anything to make of it. I think it was like a pointless argument. It was really annoying for both of their ends. I love Antonio, but I'm just like,
It felt like it dragged down almost as long as Jessica versus Keisha. Like, it was just this long thing, which Antonio and Danielle is doing the same, which I'm going to get to later in the show. But like, what about him? Speaking of Keisha, what about Antonio and Keisha's fight? What do you think of that?
I mean,
because you've never been on the show with Keisha, so I'm curious, like, what you think of that.
Yeah, and me and Keisha are Facebook friends. We like each other's stuff, and I've messaged her before, but like, some of the things she's had to say is like none of her concern or business, especially for somebody who says if you don't put clothes on my back or food on my table, it's not your business. So why her input on my fiancé and I being young parents is none of her business.
Shout out to Keisha at 100 Tuesdays on Den TV. No, you know what? Because I'm just curious about that. So, okay, so you get on LCA, and one of the very first nights, maybe even I think your first night of like actual filming, you get into this monster argument with Marcus over basically he was bringing up your financial situation because Antonio did not show up to the reunion for season 1, and he brought up your financial situation. Then you brought up how his ex aborted the baby. Now, what was going through your mind when he was coming at you about Tony skipping the reunion?
The only thing that, like, it wasn't just the whole skipping the reunion, it's the thing that he wanted to attack me, and the only thing he had on me was Antonio. The only thing I had on him was his ex. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was being malicious, it's all I had. And if it's going to hurt him like it bothered me at the time what was going on, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel sorry that I did it, 'cause, like, obviously it did bother him a lot, like, watching the episodes and his, like, clip. I feel
Oh my
sorry
God.
for him.
Oh my God. So let's talk about Marcus. There's been some disturbing vlogs this season from Marcus. What do you think has been like the most cringe moment of him? Like what made you be like, oh my God, like was it? I mean, there's been a few of this season. I mean,
I don't know, like, probably, like, when he's talking about his sex life on
oh,
camera, and I'm like, now you're just chopping your nuts off and throwing them away, like.
I know that was like really, really, really like sad to see, and it was like it really shows the place he was in. I feel like then, because I haven't even heard him like really talk about her at all. Like I haven't heard him talk about her really since we've been filming, besides like whatever with Mel. But so I was like watching it back, I was like, wow, and it was just crazy. And then right after the chat where you and him fought over the abortion, you hear him talk about the struggle of her finding out that like his friend that she left him for like is now having a baby with her, and it's just like that must have been like a wild
Yeah.
experience. To like right after the fight, you're like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, I feel really awful now. You sour bitch.
To be fair, I feel like alcohol played a major role in that fight that night
Oh,
because
yeah.
everyone was like, when I wasn't, but like I know Melissa was wasted and you seemed pretty lit. Tony was lit. So it was like an intense situation. So Melissa, that night, what was your biggest problem with her in that first episode? Like, was it the fact that she was interjecting into that issue that you had with Marcus?
Yeah, I didn't understand why she was there. And then she came in like she was the boss and like she was gonna put me in my place. And I'm like, especially when I'm drinking, I'm very like, this is my space. I tell you how it is. If you don't like it, too fucking bad. Like, I felt like she was trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, be bossy towards me. And I don't like that stuff. So.
What do you think about her? She was crying, like to lead up to that chat. Like she was crying and begging to fix you and Marcus's issue. Like, why do you think she was so upset about you and Marcus fighting?
Maybe, I don't know, like part of me is like she's loony bin, and then the other part, maybe her and Marcus were really talking and he was venting to her and she knew what was, you know what I'm saying, what was going on, so she felt like they were being like, Meg says she thinks anybody's her friend if you talk to her, so she probably thought her and Marcus were good friends at this point, you know what I'm saying.
Right. So the boobs. Let's talk about Melissa's boobs. What did you think of? I never thought I would say that. Like, let's talk about Melissa's boobs, but let's do it. What did you think of the revelation? Like when it came out that Melissa, who's married, it was like flashing Marcus in an off-camera private video chat.
Well, for her saying that she has an open
But
marriage or whatever.
but that came after. We didn't know that
At
at the time.
I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, she's a thotty.
Oh.
She's pretty freaking stupid.
So what do you think about Marcus getting romantically involved with his co-stars? Because you see it with Mel already, and then later this season you see it with Meg, and then last season with Jack. So what do you think about that?
I don't think he's gonna learn his lesson. Like, these people, you shit all over these girls, and then you expect them to be like, and then some of them are dumb and will be in a relationship with you, but that means they're not strong women. They're a bunch of weak asses that aren't gonna be able to stay with him long enough because he's such a fucking asshole.
Watching stuff that Meg and Marcus have said about each other in the videos, are you even more surprised that they became a thing later this season?
No, because I said it. You, everybody will see what I say at the end, because I
Oh
remember
yeah.
everything.
Right. Okay, I mean, oh man, I feel like we haven't even gotten to like some of the most insane, like we haven't even gotten to like the insane moments of the season. Like there's that insane Esperanza storyline coming up, which I know. And then there's a fight where I'm so wasted and I'm like screaming at you and Tony, and you guys are at the club,
I know.
and
We can't even hear you. We're like,
I know, it's so weird, and I'm like saying like crazy things, like that's gonna come out. So Melissa. So Melissa leaves the group. Were you surprised to see Mel leave after the third episode? And what do you think about her exit? Like, you've seen her videos now because you didn't get to see those. So what do you think about her solo videos?
I don't know. I think that she's really just making herself look like an ass. Cause like, honestly, I don't know. Like, you can't say you're this one person and act all badass towards people, and then the next minute be like, you guys are all jumping on me, blah 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 blah. Like this whole thing is ridiculous. Fuck you all. Like, if you like, I know what I do. Like, if I attack Marcus or attack Melissa, I expect them to come back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just feel like it's a pity party with her, and like her leaving is the biggest pity party she could have had. She wanted people to be like, "Oh no, we want you back. I'm so sorry."
What do you think about like life imitating art in a way where like literally what's going on in the episodes airing is exactly happening again 6 months later in real life? Like Melissa again blocked the cast, left the group, went on social media in a big way against all of us.
Yeah.
Especially you, calling you the potato queen. Like, what do you think about that? I mean,
I don't know. Like I said, I think she's just like I don't know. She wants pity party is really what it is. When she gets on Facebook, she wants all her friends to go F them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
they're this, like that's all I think it is with her. Is like a pity party. She wants somebody to kiss her ass and coddle her.
Now let's talk about Nicole. I want to talk about Nicole for a minute.
Nicole.
What were your thoughts of somebody you've never met in your entire life contacting you with dirt on Melissa?
I kind of loved it because it's like she's not putting it on just for camera. This is her real life. She's really that fucking batshit crazy and conniving.
Did you think that Mel was like dialing up her personality for the show with the cameras?
At one point, absolutely.
And you no longer hold that opinion?
No.
All right. So let's Jess. Jess made her return in episode 3 at the end, and you guys instantly clashed. And I know you guys knew each other prior. You were in a group chat prior to a different project, and there were some issues because you felt like Jess was hiding behind Esperanza as like a way, like she was cool with you, but then when Esperanza was there, she was like coming at you. Now, what is it about Jess that you guys just cannot connect on any level?
I'm the type of, I can't be around people like that. Like, because next thing you know, like, if I start being next to her, I'm the next person she's going to hide behind. I like people to stand up for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like people that make excuses for their lives and, try to hide behind a barrier. And, like, I feel like she's really weak, and I can't be around weak people because then it's just weird to me. I just don't connect with her. One of the
issues you had with Jess was the fact that she was using drugs and that she lost her children. Okay, yep. So let's go to the fact that
it was her a weak individual because she keeps falling in. Like I said, I can't be around weak people. The fact that she hides behind people, the fact that she keeps falling back into drugs, like, your kids should be enough. And if it's that hard, stop trying. You know what I'm saying? Trying to like make other things happen. Like, she shouldn't be on the show. She should have been trying to get her shit together, trying to get her life together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So were you surprised at all by the news of Jessica relapsing and going to a 6-month rehab program?
No. You could tell, like, in her videos at some points, the way she was acting, that she was definitely high on something.
So you think she should not have been on the show this season at all?
No. I feel like she had way too much going on.
Do you think she should have ever been on the show?
Well, considering, I don't know, first season all the way up until the point where she'd be like, I don't know, like, even on that little thing we had on the side where she had to do a video, but then she went missing for 3 days. So no, I don't think so, because I feel like drugs have a big toll in her life. And I think that the day she was missing, she was on a path. Like, she was
right.
She was gone.
Any reaction to when it came out that Esperanza and Jessica were demoted from the show and that they were going to be just friend of show and not main cast members? Did that surprise you at all?
I was a little shocked with Espy. She
Really?
claimed to be the baddest bitch, but now she's being demoted, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm. Before I get to the viewer questions, I want to talk Antonio and Danielle. What do you think about that feud? Just it started last season with this drama over like finances or whatever, and now this season, I'm not even sure what the problem is.
well, okay, like Tony said, I don't think that he was like telling her the way he explained it to me. He wasn't trying to like dictate her life, but like the way people take things is how they take things, and if she took it that way, that's on her. But
Right.
the fact that like I watch her carry it out, I'm like, okay, Danielle, I love you, but it's just trying to be another storyline, trying to pick something up because you don't really have much right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt like, and I don't want to be mean towards her because I really do like her. I just felt like it was like something she needed, you know what I'm saying, needed to have something going for herself in the show.
Next Monday on an all new LCA is going to be an epic conversation between Tony and Danielle that is going to leave me wondering who I can trust. So it's going to be really interesting. And there's a lot of what do you think about this fight that Danielle and I got in on social media over? Did you see that? The fight that her and I got? What do you think about that? Like the fact that where Ike said that she lied to me about, she said that Jess was bashing Mel in that chat, but when you watch the chat, that's not what's happening.
And she said it wasn't recording at the time. I saw that. It's like, do you trust her? Because that's what it's about. At the end of the day, if you trust her to believe it, if not, then
I trusted her. I feel like I trusted her until I started watching this season back, and I'm like, she keeps saying that Tony's like obsessed with our friendship, but like every video I see of her, she's talking about Tony. He hasn't even said her name yet.
right.
So I don't know, but I really wanted your take on that. So before I get into your questions even more, I want to get your hot takes on some of the other big issues that have come out this season in people's lives. What do you think of Meg as a cast member on the show? She's another fellow newbie. What do you think about her?
Well, like I said, like in my blogs, I like to say, she, her, I don't know, like she's like split personality character because you'll watch her and she'll be so boring, and then all of a sudden she'll have a little intake in and it'll be about her and everything's good, and then she'll go boring, and then when it comes to the the finale, you'll see like something you would never expect. It'll slap you in the face, like you're like, what? Like, you know
You
what I'm
slap
saying?
people in the face in that finale. Like, oh my god, one of the most uncomfortable video chats that I've ever been in the history of the show was
I
that
was
night. And I don't even want to spoil it, but like you were even like coming at me in that chat, and we weren't even fighting, and I was just like, what is going on? But okay, so what do you think about Annie's son being implicated in a murder?
that's crazy for her, and I'm sure it's like it was really. I don't know if she's still going through it. We didn't really talk about it because we
Mhm.
mostly, when we talk, we send funny stuff. I'm one of the friends that are like, here's something funny. Let's laugh for the day.
Right, right, right.
But that's something like I couldn't imagine going through something like that. I mean, for the show, it's really good tea. You know, like that's
And it,
something
right,
I like to
right.
watch. I'm like, oh shit, where's he hiding? You know what I'm saying? Like, but for her, I couldn't imagine what she went through. I'm sure she was stressed as hell. And then she quit smoking on top of everything she's been through.
I know.
That's a strong woman. Just saying.
What are your thoughts on Marcus and Esperanza going back and forth between I hate you or I have love for you, I hate you, I have love for you? Like, what do you think of that?
I want to be a dick so bad, but okay, so I'm just gonna say it. Somebody needs to give somebody the dick so they can figure out if they love or hate each other. Because, oh my god.
And what do you think about my budding feud with Danielle, which we're best friends? However, things are playing out in an interesting way now that the show's airing.
Well, you guys have been best friends for so long, and I feel like it would be a game changer if Danielle really did lie to you about a lot of the things and like portrayed something that wasn't true.
I want to play a game called Sweet and Salty. I want you to say I'm going to name your co-stars, and you're going to say one thing you like about them, and then one thing you don't like about them.
I think she's a strong woman. I love, like, the certain things she'll say, you know what I'm saying, in the chat. Like, she's, like Marcus says, the mom of the group. Like, and when we were on chat with her. But the thing I don't like about her would be she has a lot of shit to say, but she doesn't say it to, like, you know what I'm saying, at the time. Like, to the person. You know what I'm saying? It's always with somebody else or behind the scenes. I love that you like the tea as much as I do.
Yeah.
But I don't like when you start your shit with me to get me fucking going. I hate that shit. Even though you're right majority of the time, but you piss me fucking off.
Right. Well. Oh well. Too bad. Awkward.
Yeah. SB, I used to like that it was fun to fight with her. You know,
Okay.
like, and now just about, like, just her demeanor and the way she thinks certain things are funny is what I don't like. And that she doesn't think that it's a serious matter and it's just, you know, that she thinks it's a joke.
So there's no relationship with you and Esperanza currently at all? Like, nothing?
No. I mean, she's friends with me on Facebook and will like my stuff, but no. I love Danielle. I like, you know, how perky she is and, like, fun. You know what I'm saying? Don't like that she's always going after Tony, because that's my man. I have to style.
Why have you never stepped in and said anything in that feud? You've never really commented on it.
No. I feel like because she hasn't said something that's, like, way below the belt that would, you know what I'm saying? It's all, like, petty, minor things. But if it's below the belt, then yes.
Oh my God, I might live for a Saleana Danielle feud. I'm not gonna lie, because I never thought I would get a Danielle Esperanza feud, but later this season we get it, and I'm happy, and I'm sad. I don't know. I don't care.
I don't like anything about her.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like, I really don't.
It's all good. It's all good.
I don't like her. I just like everything about
all
her.
Of it. Just the whole package.
She's a hot mess. I like that Marcus can be, like, intact with how he feels, like, emotional wise. I don't like the way he lashes out and acts like a fucking fool sometimes. That's not.
Yeah, like, it just gets so wild, like, in this crazy, like, other world, like, it just doesn't match up with, like, how people should be reacting to situations.
I like how Meg is with her kids. Well, her kids, I think, I don't know how many she has.
She has two.
One.
She has two.
I dislike her split personalities.
All right.
Quite annoying. Now, I just dislike her. I don't think there's
nothing. There's nothing you like.
No.
When Marcus played, he said that he liked that she embraces her weirdness.
No, that's just fucking. She's all kinds of fucked up. You can't even ask me that. I just on the show.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I like that Tony is coming out more. I dislike that he waited till I was in the season to come out of a show, because I know the true asshole that motherfucker is. And that's why everybody tried to play off that I was co-writing or whatever for him.
Right. Oh, yeah. I never got to the viewer questions. One of the viewer questions was, what do you think about the rumors in the recent episodes that you coach Tony with his feuds?
I think
and it's been said by Jess, Annie, and Danielle in the episode. So 3 people say that you coach Tony.
Yeah, I think that is bullshit. I mean, like, these people obviously don't know us in real life. They know what Tony portrayed himself to be in last season.
What does that mean?
Like, he has to know you before he becomes the asshole. That's why when he fights, you don't really see him fight with Meg and them as much as he will with the people he's known, like Marcus.
Right.
Now, because now he's more comfortable to come out of his shell and show you, like, yeah, I am a fucking asshole. He tries to play like he's the good guy, which he is. He is a very sweet guy, but, like, he normally lets things go. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Which is hard to do in this environment.
Right.
Do you have any regrets about being on the show?
No.
No, and no regrets really from anything you've said on the show?
No.
Is there anything that's been said on the show that you didn't know that, like, really set you off when you watched it? Like something that somebody else said that you had never seen before?
Well, the first thing that set me off was with SB acting like I kissed her ass or something.
That you climbed into her DMs, like, begging her to.
I did message her, and the most I said was, I enjoy fighting with you. That's it. I wasn't like, oh, I'm so sorry, you're amazing. You know what I'm saying?
So she, like, totally, like, lied about you.
Yeah.
So you're saying, oh my God, that's crazy. Oh, she said it to Melissa in that one conversation about, like, that's right. And the last viewer question is, who's your favorite castmate or castmates to chat with on camera? Like, who do you like filming with when you're filming the season?
You know, I never got a chat with Danielle, I don't think. Did I? I did later.
You did later.
I don't know. You and Annie are my favorites.
Right. I feel like, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's just because, like, we have a lot of the same opinions, but we also have different opinions. So, and we can, like, talk shit to each other and then still be okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel like anybody could talk about me on the show, and, like, I don't care. Like, as long as you're giving content for the show, like, it's good. But, like, I will say that, you know, that if you're in a chat with me, that, like, something is gonna get stirred up and, like, something will happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, so there's an event that will go down because I'll make it happen. Like, I'll just, like, stir the pot enough until
you'll be like, or even before, you'll be like, did you know this one said this one? And then you'll go down and you're like, so.
I do that, like, every time. It's so shady. All right. I want to thank Saleana for being on 11/11 tonight, guys. And you can catch next week Margaret Josephs and Marge Sr. from the Real Housewives of New